The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys Storylines with Nick Eatman.
What is up? It is a Wednesday here for Cowboys Storyline, Wednesday of game week. I'm Nick Eatman here, and we're going to go 30 minutes, maybe more. We got a little bit of extra time if we can. If that's up to you guys. If the phones are ringing, we will pick it up and we will keep chatting all day long until obviously the next show or the next press conference. But we will definitely want to hear from you guys. 888-855-2297. That is the number. And I wanna be able to talk Cowboys, Giants, some injuries, lineups. Sounds like, looking at the text line here, running backs is what people want to talk about, and I don't blame you. I mean, running backs is it's different. I mean, I thought what Mike McCarthy said the other day was very telling. He said it's just going to be different. It's a different room. He said the last couple of years I've had two number ones. I've had Zeke and Pollard. This year he didn't say he didn't have two number ones, but he didn't say it, you know. I mean, obviously, you don't put Rico Dowdle in that group. He hasn't shown that just yet. Then again, Pollard didn't show it either, and Marion Barber didn't show it, and you know, until they did. And so we'll see what happens with these guys, and then Deuce Vaughn, you throw him in the mix. Hunter Lipkey. I'm not sure how the whole running back thing is going to work. I'm not sure if all four of those guys can be active for this game. So that will be something to definitely watch. Another thing to watch will be injuries. Always will be something to watch. And Mike McCarthy will have his press conference here in an hour. It's 10 o'clock Central Time. He'll have it at 11. He'll be able to discuss the Tyler Smith with the hamstring injury. Had an MRI. Sounds like it reveals a strain. That could be anything. I mean, it could be, you know, anything, any kind of tightness is somewhat of a strain. So obviously not a doctor, but we'll see how long this goes and if it will even affect them for this week. I mean, the only bad thing about this 10 o'clock time slot here is it's going to be before McCarthy, before practice. So a lot of times the answers that we want to see will happen later in the day, but that's okay. And again, if you guys keep calling, I'll definitely be able to. We'll definitely be able to chat all day long. It sounds like we do have a call, but I'm going to go through the storylines real quick on injuries. Tyler Smith, something to watch. Sam Williams, turf toe. They're going to be trying to get him ready to go. Jordan Lewis, obviously, with a foot injury. I'm not expecting him to do much. And then Donovan Wilson, calf strain. He hasn't done anything since the start of camp. My gut is that he will not be able to play this week, but we'll see. If he does something today, maybe they can kind of ramp him up. But I haven't seen him doing a lot of running yet on those cords. We're just seeing kind of the slow pacing, getting his steps, walks, not really the jogging or the running. So until we see that, I don't know how close he will be to getting back out there. All right, we're going to start this off with the phone call here. We've got Shelby in Virginia. Shelby, what's up? I'm great, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I got to tell you, I've been a fan since I was in middle school, and I'm out of college now.
Okay.
Just what y'all do over there.
That's awesome.
I wanted to ask, I really like what we did with Jason Peters last year and with Tyler and Tyron in the condition they are. How complicated would it be to try to bring him back? Is that a worthwhile move? And secondly, going back to New York, just if you have a favorite Meadowlands moment, a favorite game, a favorite moment that you've covered there.
Nice. Okay. Thanks for the call, Shelby. And Virginia is a sneaky big state for Cowboy fans. I mean, that's probably like fifth overall on when you look at Texas and California, New York, Florida, Virginia. Big fans there in Virginia. Jason Peters, this is what happened last year, though. They signed him. He was not ready to play. He was not at all, and he took, 2-3 weeks? He didn't even come back until week 3 against the Giants. He played a little bit there. So it's probably going to be the same thing. He's a year older. I mean, he's going to have to kind of get his body ready to go. So if he's just coming in to mentor, I mean, I feel like They got offensive line coaches for that. They got 1,000 coaches. I mean, I feel like they got people for that. If he's going to come in and maybe play, be a backup, and do all that, I think you would have had to have done that a little bit earlier. I don't know if they're going to go down that road. I mean, I don't hate the idea. You need somebody, but I just think he needed so much time last year. It seems like it's a little late in the game for that. Favorite Meadowlands memory, and there's been so many. Some of them are bad. I mean, like losses. I mean, I remember my first few there in that 99 season, 2000. In the 99 season, the Cowboys lost 13-10 to the Giants, and they had 2 seconds to go. The Giants kicked a field goal, and they kicked it off. And I'm down on the field. Okay, it's my first year, right out of college. I'm still just amped up. And Dion was back there, and they were pitching the ball around, and it looked like they went for the Cal Stanford play, 80 yards. And a guy named Singor Mobley, I think, has got the ball at the end, and he's running in for the end zone. And I'm just freaking out, oh my God, they just pulled this off. And what I didn't see, because I'm on the field, is that Dion, I think, had thrown it forward 6 yards, and everybody on the sideline was like, all right, this is coming back. Even though they're running it and scoring, and it looked like they just won the game, and I'm over there like, did you see that? And everyone's like, it's a penalty. It's a penalty, young guy. Let's go. All right, and so they lost the game. I don't know why that one stands out. That's really not a great memory, but there's been, we go every year, and it's a very, very loud outdoor stadium. It always has been, whether it be Giant Stadium, MetLife. It's a fun place to be. Got another phone call. Let's see. I lost Nick from New York. Still on the line, Nick?
Yeah.
What's up, Nick? What's up, Nick?
Hey. No, I hope you guys are having a good day. Love the show. Getting excited for the season. But I was listening to all the podcasts, everything on the Cowboys app yesterday, and saw there was an interesting question. Wanted to see your opinion on it, on hanging with the boys with Jesse Holley and Nate Newton, and they were asking, what you consider a success this season. And I know there was a little bit of a difference. Jesse was Super Bowl or bust because of everything they have this year, and what else can you give? And Nate was more of a NFC Championship. Is what he wanted to see. So I want to see, in your opinion, I know it's a long way to go. A lot of things can happen. But what, in your opinion, is it Super Bowl or bust? This year, based on everything they have, or do you think getting to that next step past the second round is what you want to see?
Right.
So and I'll hang up and
thanks for the call.
Answer.
Appreciate that. And those are two guys that would have that conversation, obviously, because they always seem to go to kind of down that road. I hate the term Super Bowl or bust. What does that mean? What does bust mean? I think of buttons that are about to break and then they just bust, and then you can't use them anymore. What does bust mean? Are we going to blow up the team? Are we going to just trade all the pieces? I mean, I don't know what that means. Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl's the goal. Absolutely the goal. Always the goal. And I guess what they're saying is that it was a failure. I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it as a failure. NFC Championship, yeah, I think they're going to get the Cowboys, fans will be disappointed if you don't make it there. They're going to be disappointed. But I don't look around and say it wasn't a successful season. I mean, I start the bar let's be a good competitive team that can win every week. Be a team that can compete and win every week. I think the Cowboys will be that team. Win the games you're supposed to win. I think the Cowboys are going to, and most of them, they're going to be the favorite. So they should be winning a lot of these games. Got to stay healthy, and that's something that all teams have to do. You got to get lucky. You got to avoid weird plays in the playoffs. I mean, because they always happen. Go look at the losses the Cowboys have had. There's been weird play. I mean, Aaron Rodgers throwing it down the sidelines like that, or Dez catching the ball and then not calling it a catch, or Romo dropping the ball there. And the snap. I mean, just weird things. Got to avoid those kind of things. But I just don't look at it as a bust. That's the goal. The goal is to go win the Super Bowl. But I don't know if that doesn't happen. It's what you do. You saddle up and you do it again next year. I mean, that's what it is. But I mean, I think this team is good enough to compete for it, and that's what you want. You want to just be good enough to be in the dance, and then when you get there, we'll see what happens. I think this team is good enough to do that. All right, Joe and Stanford on the line. We got Joe and Stanford, another phone call. What's up, Joe?
Hey, bro. How you doing this morning?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. So I've been watching some Giants, like pre-Cowboys game stuff, and they're talking about how they would attack one of their Giants ex-players is on there. They're talking about their offense just needing to run the ball. That's the way they attack our Cowboys defense, which makes sense. We're going to be tested. So
yeah.
My question is, how do you think we're going to hold up? You think we're going to be better against the run?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to start if you're the Giants. I appreciate the call, Joe. As always, he's becoming one of the favorites there to call from a frequency standpoint. Love that. Running the ball for the most teams are going to say that's how they want to establish things. Run the ball. They got Saquon Barkley. They're going to use him, and that's the good way to do it because if you're running the ball, you're not letting Micah Parsons do his thing. I mean, they will probably prefer that he's playing run defense more than attacking Daniel Jones. So I'm not surprised by that. I don't think anybody is. That's how you would want to attack the Cowboys, and that's why look at what the Cowboys did. I mean, they drafted Mozzie Smith in the first round, and they re-signed Hankins, and they've got Osa and Neville Gallimore, whose contract was restructured yesterday. It's really called a pay cut. I mean, that's what it was. They cut his salary, reduced it to keep him on the roster. So that's what that is. But he's your fourth defensive tackle there. So I think they've tried to solidify that, and then we'll see what Leighton and Damone Clark can do at the linebacker position as well, and the safeties coming in. But I think for sure that the Giants are going to have to run the football. That's what most teams are going to try to do is neutralize their best player on defense, which is Micah Parsons. And by doing that, you run away from him or run the ball up the middle and stay out of third and longs. All right, we're going to take another call before we go to break here. Tim in Grapevine. What is up, Tim?
Hey, Nick, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, big fan of yours. Great show. I hope you guys stream on YouTube as well, live stream.
I've been hearing that.
Place.
We're gonna look into that.
Awesome. Well, my question is, and then I'll hang up and listen. My question is, they say that you want your big guys to come off the bus first, right?
Yeah.
Well, Dexter Lawrence is literally a bus. So if Tyler Smith can't go, does that change the game plan? I'll hang up. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Man, we got another text line question on that from the 270 number about that. Will he start, in your opinion? I'm trying to double up anytime I see the same question. Tyler Smith, if he doesn't go, yesterday I just totally skipped out on the guy and forgot about TJ Bass. I think TJ Bass would probably be the starter. That's not exactly how anyone would probably envision him, a rookie free agent, undrafted rookie playing your first game, is just going out and going up against Dexter Lawrence, who you just called a bus. Bus as in, no T, not a bust, a bus, a literal bus. Sorry, Jerome Bettis, but I mean, there's other buses out there too. Dexter Lawrence, great player, and if Tyler doesn't go, yeah, it changes everything from the strength and how you want to run the football. I don't know if it's the same as what you remember 2 years ago, week one against the Bucs. I believe Zach Martin was out with COVID. I think that's what happened, and they went up to Tampa, played well, but the game plan was all east-west. It was nothing up the middle. Even with Zeke, they barely ran the ball up the middle. They went sideline to sideline, stayed out of the way of Vita Vea and those guys in the center. I don't know if it would be that type of extreme, but I do think that they would try to figure out ways to neutralize that and use their speed. They're going to do that anyways. This team's going to go east to west a lot more than we've seen in the past. You're going to see the Turpins and Deuce Vaughns and guys like that running reverses and hitches and bubble screens and things like that. So I think that's the way you would do it if you feel like you're going to be at a disadvantage. Not taking anything away from TJ Bass. I mean, maybe he's a gamer. Maybe, and I'm not saying he will play, but I mean, just you have to figure it out. And they'll give him a chance to see if he can move people off the ball, but if not, there's other ways to get around it if you have to. All right, we're going to take our break here on Cowboys Storyline. Keep the calls going, 888-855-2297. We'll be right back here on Cowboys Storyline.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
Second half of Cowboys Storyline underway here. I'm Nick Eatman, and the phone calls have been coming in. We got a guy already on the line from Mississippi. Chris from Mississippi. What's up, man? You on the road?
Yeah, I'm on the road. I'm a truck driver.
Oh, nice.
I appreciate the new show. I was the one that called the other day about Dak and how everybody was, trying to make him be into somebody he's not. And I would like to say this. I wanted to follow that up and just kind of spaced out on it with this the other day. That, I wish people would quit doing the same thing to Mozzie Smith. Like, just let the man be what he is and stop trying to make him into somebody else. I mean, we got him so we could help stop the run. And how you can answer this, for the past 5 years, how much have we wanted that guy?
Right.
How much have we begged for that guy? And now we want to turn him into somebody else? Let the man do what he's going to do.
Well,
and I think he's going to be great at stopping the run.
Let me ask.
And I think that.
Let me ask you this. Sorry, not to cut you off, but what are you hearing that people are trying to make Mozzie Smith into? Maybe I'm missing that. I mean, I know that they want him to be Aaron Donald right now, but what's the biggest concern that people are saying in your mind?
Well, I mean, everybody's saying he's a first-round pick and he doesn't have any pass rush ability and this, that, they've been saying that all through training camp. And I mean, I'm sitting over here trying to pull my hair out going, we need somebody to stop the run. That's where we've lost for the last 4 years in a row is we have nobody to stop the run.
Right.
And we keep getting run over. I mean, let the man be what he's going to be, and then in a couple of years, he may be that dominant pass rusher from the middle.
Right.
But right now, we need him to solve stopping the run for us, and I think the guy's going to do it. I honestly think this is a Super Bowl caliber team.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I am definitely a huge Cowboy fan. I've been all my life, and I'm a huge Mississippi State fan. So having Dak win the Super Bowl would be like amazing to me. And I mean, I would also like to ask you to do me a favor because Brian Broaddus and all them, they don't take calls, so you can't get a hold of them.
That's why we're doing this show.
Tell them that they need to start looking at. Since we need linemen, they need to start looking at Mississippi State and some of these teams that are down in the SEC because this year we've got 5 linemen that have played almost every position on the line. They've all they've either played guard and tackle, guard and center, all that kind of stuff, and that's what we're needing is versatility. And it seems like I think that's the biggest thing that most of us State fans love to see Dak there, but we were hoping that it was going to translate into our guys getting more attention, and it hasn't done that. But,
yeah. All right.
Hey, it is what it is. You have a great day, and
right.
appreciate the show, man.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Doesn't always work that way. You draft the quarterback. I don't remember them. I don't know if Cowboys drafted a lot of UCLA players after they got Eatman or whatever. I mean, they did get a lot of Miami guys. I know that. I don't like to hear that Mississippi State's got 5 linemen moving around. I know as an Arkansas Razorback, we got to beat Mississippi State, so don't love that. All right, Mozzie Smith. You know, the internet kind of messes that up a little bit sometimes because you see a clip and then it gets shared, and he gets turned around, and then someone says, oh, well, you know, and then everyone loves to just make every opinion of, okay, well, he sucks. I mean, you know, training camp, you cannot evaluate a defensive tackle at training camp. Every running back goes 80 yards every time. They get hit and held up, and then they still run and all that. So you don't know if you're clogging the middle or you're not. I mean, he's got strength. Jonathan Hankins said it on this show or back at camp. He's the strongest player he's ever played with, especially as a rookie. He's got something, okay? They're gonna coach him up. He's gonna be good. He's not gonna get weak. He's gonna continue to be strong. He's gonna figure out the other stuff, and you're gonna combine it all together, and he's gonna be a good pick. Just forget Taco. Taco was not a good pick, okay? You got to give him that. He was not a good pick. Every other draft pick in the last 12 years has been really good. Let's give the Cowboys some credit there, and I think that he will be right in line with that. All right, Frank from Irving. We're going back to the phone lines. Frank from Irving, are you there?
Yes. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Love the show.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask you. Everybody says that all NFL teams need more offensive linemen. If that's the case, why have the Cowboys let 2 left guards walk in the last 2 years in free agency?
Yep. Well, I mean, I think it comes down to money. I mean, it's what it always comes down to. It comes down to, can you draft a left guard, get a TJ Bass off the street? Can you do that and make up for the fact that, you know, you're going to have to pay these guys a lot of money? I mean, everybody gets excited when, oh, we got Trayvon Diggs done. Or, oh, man, they signed Zach Martin. Okay, kept him happy. Okay, good. Oh, what about CD? What about Dak? Well, something's got to give when you pay all these guys the money. And what gives is paying Connor Williams $8 million a year to go play center for the Dolphins, or go play, or Connor McGovern, whatever he made. I'm not really sure what it was, but to go to the Bills. It's just, you cannot pay everyone. You can't. And I think they look at it and said, all right, for what we're getting here, and Connor Williams was okay. I mean, he was okay. I thought he was, honestly, I thought he was playing out of position. I thought that if they would have tried center with him a lot earlier, that could have been his spot. He never looked like a guard to me, one way or another. Guards to me look like guards. I mean, big, strong, physical. Tackles, either, you know, if they're not going to be big and strong, then they're going to be like quick on their feet, and they got the quick feet they can get around the edges and all that. But to me, he was either going to be a tackle or a center, and I thought he was sort of playing out of position, in my opinion. But the point is that you cannot pay everyone, and they feel like, from a value standpoint, that they can replace that cheaper than going and just repaying. If it's Zach Martin, fine, repay him and keep him in the fold, because he's one of the best that's ever played the position. But if it's not, that you got to figure out different ways to do it, and that's kind of how they handle the guard position. All right, the calls are flying in. We appreciate it. Vince from Albuquerque. Is Vince on the line? Vince,
that's me.
What's up, man?
Love your show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Question is, Trey Lance, you think they'll have a package for him later on in the season?
Later on in the season, let me ask you. Have you seen him play? I mean, have you watched him a little bit? I can't say I've seen a lot of him. And if so, what would be your package to use him?
I think it would be like a third down and short, and then like maybe fake the run and then use his big cannon arm to go downfield.
Where is Dak in on this play?
He's actually on the sidelines.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's one of those little wrinkles that let's see what the defense is going to do, and I don't know. We'll see what's going on.
You know, I'm laughing here. You're laughing because, you know, that sounds a lot easier than it is. I mean, going back to what you remember back in the Wildcat days of, it was about 15 years ago or so when it was really a big deal. Well, the difference with all of that, the reason why they were doing Wildcats because your quarterback wasn't very good. That's right. Really what it came down to. Your quarterback wasn't good. I just wonder about a Wildcat type thing with Dak when I think Dak's a better thrower, and I also think, and he knows the offense better, and I think he's a good runner. So that was the whole thing, is like getting another guy that could like run the ball in there, but I think Dak can kind of do both of those. So it sounds easier than people are kind of remembering here, because taking Dak off the field is just not something we're used to. But if there's a package involved, I mean, I could see two quarterbacks out there. Now that's where you should really get some wrinkle in there. Get him a guy out there, receiver, could throw it, double pass. It's not Cedric Wilson, it's a Trey Lance throwing the ball. So I could see something like that. But just putting Dak on the sideline for that play, that seems like that's going to be a little bit more problematic. Especially like on a Tuesday and Wednesday or Sunday after the game interviewing. That's just, I don't know. He didn't seem that excited when they got him here. Take him off the field, see what happens. So
or maybe like some type of a backward pass type to him. He lines up in the backfield.
There we go.
Do like that, and if the read's not right away, run it.
Exactly. I could see something like that. I could see them throwing some things out there. I think that makes a little bit more sense than, hey, it's 3rd and goal down on the 5-yard line. We're going to take him, take our, because what happens with that. I appreciate the call, Vince. What happens with that is it shows like this, and it's like, okay, because then now we put Dak's salary back on there, $140 million, whatever it is. You got this guy on the bench, you know what I mean? Like anything and everything to stir it up, and that a play like that, as gadgety as it might be, will stir the pot, and it's not going to be fun for that. Even though it might work or whatever, it leads to other things. But both on the field at the same time, taking out a Jalen Tolbert just to use him and maybe to throw it, I'm all for that. Love it. All right, Rob from New Jersey. What's up?
Hey, Nick, big fan of the show and all your work.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Rob.
Question and an old-time Cowboy name for you.
Love it. Yeah, give me. Yeah, let's go question first.
So my question is, what does the Dak extension have to look like, in your opinion, to consider it a success in terms of averting a cap crisis, trying to lock up all the youth?
Okay. Like right now he's going to count $59 million on the cap next year. That can't happen. That absolutely cannot happen. So, I think we'll see what happens this year. I think he's going to have a good year, and I think it makes sense to do it. I would imagine them doing it this year. Your question is what makes sense? I mean, lowering that number for sure, and keeping him happy and in the range of, I think he was the second highest paid quarterback when he did the deal, and then 2 hours later he was like 5th, and I don't even know where he is now. I mean, he's in the middle of the pack. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Everyone just kind of leapfrogs each other. So making him happy, keeping him in the top, I don't know, 5 to 7 quarterback range. As long as he's getting enough guaranteed money. Maybe I'm not understanding exact part of your question.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, they're gonna, but I think they need to see. I don't know if they need to see him perform this year. They just got to get on the same page. And right now, I don't think either one of them are in a huge hurry. Deadlines make deals. They always say that. But when the timing is right, it'll be fine. And I just think it makes more sense to keep him on the roster. They'll make it work. And I think Jerry said it yesterday. He's going to be here for a long time, and that means them getting in a room, get down there, and figure it out.
No, of course, yeah, and that's exactly where my question comes from. After hearing him say that yesterday, I feel like a extension's kind of imminent there.
Who's your Cowboy.
My old-time Cowboy name is actually, it's a distant relative of mine. His name is George Andre. He was the defensive line for the Super Bowl VI team way before my time, but it's actually the reason my family became Cowboys fans back in the early 60s.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Related to George Andre. He was a really, really good player. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He was a really good player and probably very underrated. I'm looking at the media guide. 5th all-time in sacks, George Andre. He played from 1962 to 72, had 97 sacks. Couldn't come back and get 3 more, just get to 100. Actually, by then they weren't even keeping stats for sacks, not until 1982. So he didn't even know probably how many he had. But 5th all time. I mean, we talk about this defense. I mean, DeMarcus Ware, Harvey Martin, Randy White, Tutal Jones, George Andre. It's pretty good. One of the reasons they had the Doomsday defense. We had a text question from Ryan in Michigan. He responding to the caller. Please, no Trey Lance on the field this year. Thank you. So, okay. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm looking at it from our standpoint, like in the media, like that happens. That's just gonna be crazy. But we'll see. I mean, if it can make it work, I mean, I think they can be creative with it. But if you're gonna get that creative, let's do something with Deuce. All right. 9th call. We've got 9 calls. That's awesome. Maurice in Tacoma, Washington. Maurice, what's up? You there?
Yes, I'm there.
What's up, man?
Hi, how you doing, Nick?
I'm good. How about you?
Not too bad, man. I seen you at the game up in Seattle. I tried to holler at you, man, but you was a little bit busy on the mic.
Oh yeah, I was doing the sideline there. I probably had the headphones on. Yeah. That means you had a good seat. I can tell you that you were down there pretty low.
Yep. So my question is, it's about Anthony Brown. I really thought he was starting to come along a little bit with that injury. It kind of set him back, and I was hoping that the Cowboys would just kind of let him take his time to get back and then use him with that depth at cornerback, somebody that's familiar with the defense. But we lost him, but he's just on the practice squad. You think that maybe we might just let him heal up with another team and come back and get him later?
I don't know. I mean, I think I wouldn't see that. I don't think that they're probably moving on from him. I mean, I think because when you think about what they have at corner, I mean they've got 2 that they love there as the starters, and then Deron Bland's right there. I mean he had as good a camp as any of those guys. So you got 3 corners that you really like, and then you traded for Igbenogany. I think, I'm working on that one. But that's your 4th corner. I mean, he replaces Kelvin Joseph there as your 4th guy. You got Nashawn Wright. You've got Eric Scott. I just don't see where bringing him back. Now, injuries could change all that, but as for right now, I don't see that one happening.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Appreciate that. All right. So we're a little bit over time here. I think the phones have died down for a second. I'll go back to a question here. This is from Bo in Laredo, Texas. For the Cowboys to win, which group is going to have a bigger game against the Giants on Sunday? The receivers, the running backs, or the defense? For the Cowboys to win, to me, this thing starts with defense. So if you're just going to say defense as one of the 3, I'll take that. If defense has the best game out of all of them, then I'll take my chances that Dak and that offense is going to score some points and they're going to get make some things happen and they're going to win the game. If it's defense, if it's just running backs or receivers, those receivers are good. I mean, the Cowboys have good receivers, so. If the running backs can outperform them, then I know that it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day for the Cowboys if the running backs have a better day than the receivers, and that's probably the case with every team in every league on every level. If you can run the football, you don't really have to throw. Then you're going to have a good day, and I think that will probably happen with this team. I'm so anxious to see that. There's so many things I want to see. I mean, I just want to see football. We all want to see football that matters and that counts. It's so fun. Preseason game, it's just not the same. It's just you just got to get through it. Hopefully you don't have injuries, and of course the Cowboys did in Seattle. They had some injuries, but you just want to see things. And I've got a list of like 20 things that I just want to see, but running back is one of them. I want to see how Pollard can run the ball there between the tackles and do it all game long. I want to see Rico Dowdle. I want to see Deuce. Everybody wants to see Deuce. Want to see what he can do. All right, let's go back. We got another phone call that just came in from Anaheim, California. Eric, what is up, man? Eric.
Hey Nick, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Miss you on the break, man, but I'm glad you got your own show now.
Well, thank you. I think they're doing great over there, and we just wanted to have another show we could kind of throw in a show for the fans, for you guys to be able to kind of vent and voice your excitement or whatever happens. I can't wait for a Monday show after a game. It's going to be fun. What you got today?
So I was calling because I wanted to ask. Do you know the intentions from Dallas Cowboys for Hunter Lipkey?
No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I know exactly what they're trying to do. I think what they want is they like the upside of a guy that's got he's got those kind of traits as far as they want to develop him as a blocker, if he can be a fullback type, but also they want to put the ball in his hands as well. They like the H-back. Sean McEwen has done it in the past, but I think Hunter Lipkey gives you a little bit more playmaking ability, somebody that you could sneak out of the backfield, but as long he's got to do the dirty work too. If he can do that, because I think at North Dakota State he was running the football. That's what he was doing. And he's got some skill to do that. Develop into a guy that can stick his nose in there, maybe be a lead blocker at time, put him in motion. I can't even forget. I forget the guy's name in San Francisco. It's Juszczyk. That's it. Thanks, Chris, for saying that. If you could be that type of guy, which you can do a little bit of everything and maybe a little bit of tight end, some fullback, just be a mismatch type guy, and then also help on special teams. I think that would be something that they would really love to get out of him. Right now, they got to figure out who they can take to the game. Can they take all four of these guys to the game? Deuce creates a little bit of a challenge because he don't think he's going to be playing a ton of special teams, and if a third running back is active, he's always going to be playing special teams. I think Deuce really helped Rico Dowdle be here because Rico can play special teams, and I think it made more sense to keep Rico on the team with Deuce, not a veteran, a Zeke type or a Fournette or whatever who's not going to play special teams, because now you got three running backs that aren't doing it. I think that having Deuce here probably helped Rico being here, and then Hunter Lipkey, we'll see where he falls into all that too. More calls. We got Servando from Corpus Christi. Did I say that right? Servando?
Yes, sir. You got it right.
All right. Well, I said it two different ways. So either way, we'll from Corpus Christi. What's going on, man?
All right. I'm going to stir up the pot here.
Do it.
I hope this doesn't happen, but do you think Jerry Jones kept Dan Quinn around in case Mike is on the hot seat and said, hey, if something happens and we don't get to where we need to be, you're our next head coach?
Thank you for stirring that up. That's all we have time for today on Cowboys Storyline. No, I'm kidding. No, that's not why he kept him. He kept him because he's a great defensive coach, and this is a great defense. That's why he kept him, because he wanted him to be the defensive coordinator, and you don't have a salary cap on the coaching staff, so you can pay him what you want to pay him. And I don't know if Dan Quinn had a job out there that he desperately wanted to take. I think he wants to coach Micah Parsons. And this defense. He didn't. No, I don't think he kept him here so if that can happen. He kept him here because so that doesn't happen. So this defense is so good that they're going to win games regardless of any injuries or anything that happens. I think the offense is going to be pretty good too now. But you keep your coordinators because you think that they are going to help you win. And no, they've got guys on this staff that if they had to, if it got bad enough, somebody could come in and coach, as on an interim basis. I mean, at that point, you're looking for draft picks anyways, if that's the case. No, I think that they wanted to keep this defense intact, and they want Dan Quinn to be here. I'm not going to even go down the road and think like that, because that's where you get yourself in trouble when that happens, just because it's what happened with Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips. When you think you have the coach in waiting and all that, look at the college game. Same thing. Every time you hear about this guy is going to be the next head coach, it never seems to work out that way. Something just doesn't line up right unless that person is related to the coach, and then they always seem to make it work. But I think Dan Quinn was kept here because they could pay him. They paid him whatever they paid him to make it work, and also because they want to keep this defense rolling here. All right, let's go back to the text line. Ryan from Michigan. He said the Cowboys had 22 interceptions in 2021. Do you think the defense can get 25 this year? How many do you think Diggs and Gallimore will have combined? Okay, that was 2021. What did they have last year? I mean, if they had, I was thinking about that. I can't find this in the media guide that quick. But actually, I can. How many do you think they'll have this year? Well, probably not that many. I mean, I can't imagine them having a ton. They had 26 in 2021, and last year they had 16. I'm not sure what the numbers you're looking at here, but 26 in 21, and 11 of those were Diggs. Last year they dropped down to 16, and a lot of that was because of Diggs. Was because they weren't throwing the ball to him a whole lot. How many will they have this year? I would say over 20. I'll split the middle there. 16 last year. I think they can get more than that. I think Gilmore will help with that. I think Bland is a ball hawk as well. They're going to have to throw to Diggs a little bit more than they did, and I think that's going to. I think his number will get higher, and I think that overall the team will. As well. So it all comes back to what we said earlier, Mozzie, stopping the run and all that, and then that will lead to passing situations, and they'll be able to get more picks. I would see them getting over 20, maybe not 26 like they had 2 years ago, but I think over 20 sounds about right, and I would look at Diggs to be in the range of 7 or 8. He's got great hands, got receiver hands that'll help him on those big passes like that. All right, I think we're going to call it a day here, except for, we did have one more question, and this will be the end of it. We have from the 317 line. He says, first play of the game, a flea flicker to Brandon Cooks for a touchdown. He goes, I know I would love it, and I would love it as well. Yeah, if a flea flicker for a touchdown, I can't imagine what, like during the game, and this is going to sound like boastful. I'm just saying. I mean, I got a lot of followers. People like to talk during the game. Twitter, for me, during the game, it just flies up. It just, all these responses just flies up. If they have a flea flicker for a touchdown in a game, I can't imagine what it's going to look like on X Twitter. I'm going to call it that now. I don't know why we haven't been calling it that. It's called X Twitter. I mean, it used to be Twitter. Now it's X Twitter. This seems easy. Let's call it X Twitter. On X Twitter, it is going to be flying up there. Flea flicker, I would do it one a game. I would do a flea flicker one a game, but definitely, if they got new wrinkles with Schottenheimer and McCarthy calling the plays, I want to see a flea flicker, and I definitely want to see it for a touchdown. I don't want to see what X Twitter looks like though, because you guys are going to be going crazy. It doesn't matter what it is. Any flea flicker for a touchdown. It could be Ball State versus Toledo. If there's a flea flicker, somebody's tweeting me. He's like, "Did you see it?" So it happens. I love it. It's a great play. I think it would work, and I think just the threat of it would certainly be great. Great show. Appreciate going overtime. Chris Beam, thank you so much. A lot of calls. This was really a lot of fun. We'll be back tomorrow to do it. Same time, 10 a.m. For Cowboys Storyline. We'll see you then.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.